Now, I know what you're thinking. All right, man, well, give me an example. Have you ever worked with somebody who didn't have a sales pipeline and wasn't making forecasts, and then you worked with them, and then over time, they became like really successful? Has that ever happened to you, Hartmann? Yes, it has. This is one of my favorite stories to tell. And this is part of the reason why we developed the OSR Academy. There's two individuals, they both happen to be named Matt, that we are working with at Kuiken Brothers on behalf of Nick. And they were struggling. We thought they were underperforming. Really talented people, really hardworking. We knew they had a bright future, but they were underperforming. And their goal was to sell $208,000 a month. Well, we started working with them, and over the course of a little bit more than a year, both of these gentlemen have been absolute all-stars and are currently selling over $850,000 every single month. They have turned into absolute all-stars. Did I have something to do with that? Yeah, just a little bit. They did most of it. They did all the heavy lifting, but the tools that we put in place are not mind-blowing. These are common tools, but they needed confidence. They needed discipline. What was the outcome? The outcome was accountability and results. Maybe you'd like to hear this from the person's mouth themselves. All right. Maybe you're wondering how this relates at all to We Don't Talk About Bruno. As it turns out, I'm not making this up. The individual that you're going to listen to, that I worked with, his name, that's right, is Matt Bruno. Here he is.
What a joy you stay, but anyway, we don't talk about forecasts. No. We don't talk about forecasts.
Well, forecasting wise is very simple. If you're in the game and you're in sales, you should be able to forecast 3 months out because you're selling and you know what your pipeline is. I mean, it's just that simple. I mean, right now I could say it's going to be a little more difficult because you know what the pipeline is going to be, but the way the material is now, you don't know that you're going to be able to satisfy those orders. So that might be a little bit, different. But, I was thinking about this forecasting, when I read your email the first time, and it's basically if you're a salesperson and you're in a game, you got to know your pipeline for the next at least 3 months. I mean, because it's your livelihood. So it's like, I don't know how you could not know 3 months ahead. It's like, for me, it's like, I don't know. I got to know that, you know what I mean? Because that's how I'm going to make my money.
Exactly. There's a very strong element of personal self-interest, right?
Right.
Well, let me ask you this. Is you use the phrase, if you're in the game.
Right.
What does that mean? Go into that a little bit for me.
Well, in the game, like one of my buddies said, I think I told you this before, like if your heart is not in your throat, 5 times a day, you're not in the game. Like to be in the game, it's a lot of work. It's a lot of stress, you're in there. And so, I'm in the game. Like I know what's going on. I know what's coming in. I know what I got to do to make, now with the average of, averaging 1.1 million a month, where we were first talking, it was like, we thought 500. Oh, how are you going to do more than that? Now it's like, now it's like a million's like, so let's go to the next level. But, you got to be in the game, and it's just the way it is in my head, at least.
Yeah, I remember the original number when we were started was 208,000. That was the minimum threshold. And then a couple months, and then Katie barred the door after that. So let me ask you this, Matt. Hypothetically, just imagine there's a guy like me talking to a guy like you, but different. And I say, here's the drill for a forecast. If we've worked on the pipeline and you know your numbers and you're talking to your customers and even though we're struggling to get material and we have inventory issues, right? All those that we're aware of. Mm-hmm. When it comes to our monthly calls, we plan it and I say, okay, give me the current month plus 3. So give me June and then give me July, August, and September. Just give me your top line revenue number there. And if I were to hear something like, well, it's tough to say because you got the war in Ukraine, and then you got the price of gas going up, and then the Fed rates going up, and then are you aware of the civil rights challenges in Hong Kong? And I say, man, what are you talking about? Just give me a number. Hypothetically, what would you say to those salespeople about forecasts?
I would say All that time you're spending watching all that nonsense on the news, start making cold calls on some sales to get some sales going. You know what I mean? It's too much time worrying about that stuff. I don't even watch it because it's just too much time wasted. You know what I mean? We know what's going on. We got to move forward. So yeah, I would say screw all that crap. Focus on sales. You know, because when this all breaks loose, you know, all those guys that you helped out through all of this crap, they're going to remember you, and you're going to have some loyal guys. It's going to be good. So you just got to keep. That's how I look at it. Just keep plugging, man, because sooner or later this is going to open up, and then we're going to have a nice, good following, and you know everybody's going to call on you for everything they need. You know, and yeah, that's what I tell them. Just stay off the news. You know.